The decision to deactivate all unregistered SIM cards is a costly exercise, says Governor Parkop.
Be flexible, extend the time and allow people to, come and register. I know, we want to do it fast, but, it's a logistical nightmare. NICTA is not paying the cost. The cost is being passed to the service providers, Digicel and B-Mobile and other mobile outlets. So, they should cooperate as well because it's a costly exercise. It's also a logistical nightmare for the people to go and stand up in the queue.
He says there should not be any deadline for subscribers. This allowed them to register at their own convenient time, and NICTA should deal with mobile operators.
This idea that if by a certain date, like 31st of December, tomorrow, close of business, your SIM card is going to go off just because you don't register, it's not logical and not sane. Even myself, I have not registered because, well, does NICTA expect me to go and stand in a queue out there at the digital, tent out on the road? I can't do that, and they've not facilitated a means by which, people in my position are going to get our SIM card registered. So it's really stupid of NICTA and to make the demand.
This week, a lawyer bound to Francis based on human rights grounds filed an urgent application with the Waigani National Court.
Is for that mandatory process to be relaxed and made optional, voluntary, or it has to be made flexible, meaning that in this case, there must not and ever be a deadline given, because it has to be optional, voluntary, or flexible. So every registered or every SIM card holder in this country can register his or her SIM card at a time convenient with him or her.
He said the SIM card deactivation process is unfriendly, especially for people like doctors and politicians.
Look at doctors, for example. They are busy. Every minute of their time is occupied. They are spending it on patients. And they cannot just leave their hospital or where they are, their workplace, to walk to the streets and join a queue for 2 or 3 hours just to get their SIM card registered. That cannot happen. Or the pilots, captains, or even judges. I don't think they have the time. And given the security concern as well, they cannot simply walk to the streets, join a queue for hours to get their SIM cards registered. These are some practical realities of life which have to be taken into consideration before implementation of the mandatory process. But at the moment as I'm speaking, that has never been done.
And yesterday, the Catholic Bishops' Conference of Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands called for NICTA to extend the SIM card registration deadline.
Problem with this SIM registration. So I call upon the government to put the deadline a little later, maybe 3 or 4 months later, so that they can work together and make sure that these ID cards or NID should be in place, and the expectations of NICTA should be easier on these people who have the SIM cards. They should be strict with the SIM card companies, whether it is Telecom or B-Mobile or Vodafone or Digicel. They should, from now on, they should have the SIM cards registered properly from now on, and they should be following the strict procedures.
Fabian Hakelitz, National EMTV News.